Lunchtime, Sunday 23rd of May 1943. 26 Nazi Focke-Wulfs 190s flew into Bournemouth with an attack which lasted just over 1 minute. I've lived in Bournemouth since 1954, and for a long time I thought it was bombing planes, Nazi planes, returning back to France and just dumping their bombs before they flew back to France to give them less weight. But with the help of YouTube, I've now discovered that it was planned. They knew that Allied forces, Canadians, Australians, even Americans, were coming to Bournemouth for rest and recuperation. So it was planned to attack the town and to hit places where they more likely would be, which is hotels. Now, one of the places they hit was somewhere along on the right here, which was the Shamrock and Rambler coach station. The Nazi planes left France, flew over the Isle of Wight, turned at Hednesbury Head, over Southbourne, and first bombed three houses in Springbourne. They then carried on down, flying low level all the time to escape radar, down this road, which is Holderness Road. The next target they hit was that building on the left, that tall building you can see in front of you. That was the Metropole Hotel, and you can see that new building in between. That was also part of the Metropole Hotel, and that's where the bombs fell. The story says that there were 37 Canadians sitting at the bar when the bomb dropped. Many were injured, but they don't really know the total death, because some of them were just blown to bits. And that is the Metropole Hotel from the other side. One of the bodies that was blown up was found on the right there, where the college is, where the scaffold is. They found one of the bodies of the poor Canadian in there. So that's the extent of the bombing. That building in front now was a Central Hotel. I'll get another shot of it later. But that's the Central Hotel. That was also hit. 54 lives of Australian and US Army were killed there. That's another view of the Central Hotel. That far right, those buildings there, I remember as a kid in the 60s, that was all bombed out, because that was the back of the building I showed you earlier. That was being rebuilt, and that was all bomb building. As kids in the 60s, that's where we used to play out after coming out of the Odeon cinema. Now that's the Central Hotel from the other side. And that was also, as I said, bombed. And 54, the total, the highest total, lost their lives there. They were mostly Australian and US Army. They then flew down Old Christchurch Road, where I'm now heading down. This was their next target. It is Beale's Superstore, which was the biggest store in Bournemouth at the time. And you must admit, it probably looks like a hotel, doesn't it? That building right in the middle, that's Beale's. And that was the next target, and that was bombed severely. Just behind it, round the corner, is another shop which is now gone, called J.J. Allen's. They also suffered a lot. It was quite heavily bombed, that building. I haven't got any figures of how many died in there, but it was heavily bombed. If you go on YouTube, you can actually see photographs from Pathé News of that time, and they'll show the buildings. I mean, this street was full of people, fire engines, all sorts, and the rabble trying to put all out. Bill's, as you can see now, is closed. It was the top shop of Bournemouth, but it's now, like many other shops, no longer exists. That was a target as well, full of bombers. I think you can see the building, it looks fairly new, doesn't it, with the brickwork, not sort of pre-war type, but it does look like a hotel, and it was a big building back then as well. So they might have thought that was a hotel, so added it to their list. Now we're in Bournemouth Square, and right in front of you is Bobby's. It's changed, before it changed to Debenhams, but now it's back to Bobby's. And that was also another target of the Luftwaffe. They hit that store. Not so many were killed, but they did a lot of damage. And it also affected Woolworths next door. That was also hit. So that was another target of the Luftwaffe in Bournemouth. And remember, this all happened very quickly. In just over a minute, when they hit Bournemouth that Sunday lunchtime, when everybody was enjoying it was good weather, enjoying the day, and the Nazis came. And yet, as if irony was irony, oh hang on, yeah, then they came down here. They probably was on their way back home, because this leads to the beach. So as they left, they sent a goodbye message by strafing people who were in the park enjoying the Sunday walk. So they went through here just strafing everybody. But like I was saying, the irony is that this happened in 23rd of May 1943, and yet just 2 months later, in July 1943, Hamburg was hit. Hang on, this is the last target. This was hit before the park, and it's the Puncher Memorial Church. I'm hoping I've got this right, but I do believe this was the Puncher Memorial that they hit. They say the spire got knocked out. And if you look at that part of the building, compared to the rest, that looks fairly modern, doesn't it? If you look left, you can see the type of stonework, and yet so I got a feeling that was what was hit. That's the end of my tour. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.